Hey, what's up everyone, Saintsfan back again with another GTA 5 video, and today I want to talk about mansions. I saw a post on one of the GTA subreddits, and it had a bunch of pictures of a bunch of houses in the game that could be considered mansion worthy, and I'll go ahead and actually put some of those pictures up on the screen here so you can get an idea of, which houses in the game would be nice to own as mansions or just big houses. But the reason I want to talk about mansions is because as GTA Online comes to an end, and I'm not saying like it's coming to an end in a month or in 2 months. No, I mean like over the next year, 2 years, because Rockstar, they're eventually going to move on to GTA 6. Obviously, we have Red Dead Redemption 2 coming out. They're going to do some online stuff with it. So, GTA Online, as we know it, isn't going to be here forever. So what I thought would be really cool is if these mansions that many people have been wanting for a super long time now, what if like they were the end all be all? Like what if they were the final thing we sort of get in online? And I'll touch on that more in a second. But if you guys want, you can let me know in the comment section your thoughts on this whole topic. Like, do you want to see mansions in online? Do you agree with what I'm talking about? Do you not agree? If you want to change anything that I'm saying, then please let me know. And if you enjoy the video, I'd appreciate it if you could drop it a like. So as we go through some of these houses, you'll see that most of them are, fairly big. They're way bigger than the stilt houses, which are in the game. But I think there's a good variety between, these huge houses like the Playboy Mansion, and then some of the smaller ones, like, I don't know, some of these other ones you'll see in the pictures. And, I don't really know how many Rockstar could add to the game, only because with certain missions and certain, like, import-export deliveries, you actually have to go to a few of these mansions to deliver vehicles and stuff. So I know that a few of these options may not be available just because of that. Like, you can't have an ownable property that you're delivering vehicles to. It just wouldn't make much sense. But there are a lot of these houses that aren't like that. So when it comes to mansions, the one thing I've talked about before is if Rockstar would ever put them in the game, they would have to give us a reason to own them, because they kind of botched the stilt houses. While they're not as expensive as some of us thought initially, they're not very good. They're not really convenient. They're in like in my opinion, one of the worst parts of the city to get to, just because it's all the windy roads and stuff, and that's super annoying. And I know some of these houses are in similar locations, but the stilt houses, in addition to that, the garages are not connected to the actual house. So in order to get into your 10-car garage, you have to walk out through a loading screen and then walk back in through another loading screen and then drive out through another loading screen. So it's kind of annoying in that regards. And really only like a few of them have good views. So it's not even like, all of them have amazing views. And the interiors weren't anything special, compared to the apartments. There really was nothing new. So for all intents and purposes, the stilt houses were kind of a waste. But I think that with actual mansions or bigger houses, there could be some really cool stuff done. So some of the things that they could add to these houses or these mansions that would give people a reason to own them would be some unique indoor stuff. Because obviously when it comes to houses, just like apartments, nothing is going to be changed on the exterior. Just because if multiple people can own the same house, then something on the outside, it's going to look weird, or it's just not going to work if two or more than two people or more than one person has that house. So everything that's going to be changed is going to be on the inside. And unfortunately, that means you can't have people, or you can't have a balcony that you go out on, or you can't have your car parked in the driveway, just because if someone else has it, then that's not going to work. So interior wise, what you could do, or what they could do, some of the houses, and let's just say this right off the bat, the interior doesn't need to match the exterior. Like half the building, probably more than half the properties that Rockstar have added, they don't match. Like every single one of the clubhouses are super small on the outside, but then it's a pretty big place on the inside. So I'm not going to really say that even if a house is kind of small, it needs to be that small, inside. So just getting that out the way, some of them, some unique sort of interior stuff could be like an indoor swimming pool, or like some extra rooms like that aren't in apartments or stilt houses. One thing I've always said is that they could have like a game room where there are some little mini activities, and not just like darts and arm wrestling, because that's what's in the game. If they actually add pool or air hockey, or like a little mini basketball game, or bowling, that would give people reasons to purchase these bigger houses or these mansions. And they would definitely have to have a bunch of customization. I mean, yeah, they did do good. Rockstar did do good with the apartments and the customization options they brought to them. But maybe I would like to see more. You know, what if we had each room as a different customization option? I think that would be kind of neat, and it wouldn't be for everyone, but for the people who like that sort of stuff, it would be good for them. Now, to sort of separate the mansions and sort of make them almost like end game properties, they would have to do something with the garage, because I would say the garage is the most important part of any property in the game. You know, apartments only have 10 cars, but then everyone moved to the offices, you know, now that they have 20 car garages, and the fact that you can get 3 office garages, which means you can get 60 cars at one property. So that's a really good deal. So that's something a lot of people like. So with these mansions, what they could do, and again, not accounting for like actual space, they could say this stuff's underground. You can make it so where each mansion has a 25 car garage, or if you want to go even crazier, a 50 car garage. I don't know how well that would work. I don't know if it's possible to have 50 cars in one garage, but if they made it more than 20, then that gives people a reason to say, all right, well, the office is nice, but I can have an even bigger garage. And inside of that garage, let us customize it. You know, give us a few customization options like you did with the office, like you did with the custom shop in the office. You know, what if we could make our garage basically look like the inside of Benny's? That would be kind of cool. And one of the biggest reasons why I think these mansions would be a great addition to GTA Online was because, like I said a few minutes ago, they would be good end game properties. You know, at the moment, or throughout GTA's life cycle, we've had apartments, and then we've had the bigger apartments, or the better apartments, the better looking ones, and then we've had the office. So like, what's next? Actually, then we had the yacht, and then the office, and then, you know, what's next? I would say at the moment, really the only end game sort of thing, if you even want to call it that, is a yacht, because a yacht is what the maximum is, like $10 million. And, you know, there's not much use for it. It's basically something that you just own because you want to own it. I mean, yeah, there's certain things you can get and do from it, but for the most part, it's there just to have it, just to say, oh, I have a yacht in GTA Online. So what they could do, you know, what could be next? Mansions would be perfect, and I think that would cap off GTA Online perfectly as well, because one, it's something people have been asking for since the start pretty much. Two, it would be a good use of some of the buildings that are in the game that never get used, and if they did price them from like 5 to 15 or maybe even $20 million depending on what size you got. You know, if you got like the Playboy Mansion, that would probably be 20 million, but if you got one of these other smaller houses like you've seen in the pictures, maybe that's only 5 million, then that would give people something to strive towards, because then you could say, all right, GTA Online sort of is coming to an end, let me work up to get a mansion, because that's one of the things I think GTA Online sort of lacks. There's no sort of end game reward. Like, you're always just, I guess, saving money for the next DLC. And yeah, this may suck for newer players because you might not have all the other stuff I've mentioned, but for the people that have been playing from the start, you know, like myself, I have everything. You know, I have an office, I have all 3 garages, I have every single apartment I can own, I have a yacht, I have all the Pegasus vehicles, I have all the vehicles I want to own. So, you know, for people like myself who have everything, kinda, introducing mansions to online would be something good to sort of make us strive towards. Like, instead of just playing the game mindlessly, saving up for whatever the next DLC is, we could play the game to save up for an actual new property. And the last thing I will say about mansions, and this I think would make everyone want one, they could introduce one final heist. Heists have been something that everyone has been wanting more of, and I know they said they're not going to go back and do more heists just because of how long it took them to do the first 5. But what if, as a, you know, final DLC, they added these mansions with all the stuff I've mentioned, and there's one final heist that sort of just does everything that you can do in GTA Online. You know, maybe it starts with an oppressor, goes to a armored Kuruma, goes to the APC tank, goes to a Hydra, or, I don't know, you know, they could have some really cool and unique little missions to sort of sum up people's GTA Online experience, and I think that would be really awesome. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you believe mansions could work? Do you believe they could not work? Anyway, thank you all for watching. Please drop the video a like if you did enjoy, subscribe for more awesome GTA content, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one.